Oh my god. We're doing a Vampire Diaries. So, I don't actually remember, but we're gonna go through a thinking of the episode. It is Alpha Omega Day, and I don't. So I do actually. Don't play Blood in the Dead. Alright, let's.
Was stumbling around in total darkness part of plan?
You give us the fire, we'll give them hell.
Do not speak so lightly of hell.
Easy, Tech. I didn't mean the real thing.
Gentlemen, we are here.
Where have you taken us?
They should be closer to the lab. No matter. This way, if you please.
Okay, so we're gonna turn down the volume. I kind of want
Okay, change of plan. We should be looking for the other Nikolai.
it. We're going to audio. We're going to adjust this particularly because I want to be able to hear the game, but also like.
But apparently I have messed it up. When I say I mean him. Me.
What now, Sherman? Surely you do not seek to torture me further. I know all too well what lies ahead.
Enough riddles, Richthofen! Have I not already given you enough? My blade, my honor,
Okay,
my
so
soul!
Everybody just pull your shit together, or I'm gonna start freaking out too!
I guess we're going to start
you
with the
pray
first episode
to
here,
help
which
stem
is
the
the
tide.
pilot.
That should relieve
So
pressure
the
and
death
skull.
Nikolai
episode
holds
here.
the perfect balance of skill and blind, ignorant luck.
So let me
Decided
see
in
if
darkness. This
Richtofen
is the
copied
episode
entire plan
description.
from Special Book.
It's very,
Special
very
Book
like,
changed its mind,
not really.
and now it wants.
Of course, we all heard the doctor. Fate now demands our blood as well. I have never seen Richthofen this way. The threat is real.
Change again. So let's buck up and get to work already.
Ahem! Gentlemen, please, calm yourselves. You must forgive me. I forget how frustrating I can be sometimes. Never mind the chronorium, or this silly blood business. I have something entirely new.
I believe I have paid enough. More than enough. Flame will cleanse you all.
So this
Richtofen
first
knew
episode,
exactly who that monster
my
in Selma
opinion,
was.
yes,
I
it is
could
the
see it in
pilot.
his stupid
It
vibe.
was a really good opener. I didn't explain it to you.
That big guy with the club? Is he a prison guard or something?
Trash
That
tier,
thing
worst tier,
was no
which
ordinary
is
guard. I
aka
believe he was an agent
worst
of
tier.
a much darker force.
The Warden. I have known him to take many forms.
Vampires.
Each one used to torture the souls of both the damned and
Bloodlust
the
here.
doomed. He's not very nice.
Again, ammo is low. Such greedy.
So episode 1, I think,
this
has
is
to at
over,
least
I
go
may
in
never touch
Bloodlust
gun
tier,
again.
because it is that episode 1. I mean, you meet Stefan.
Every decision matters.
He's got one Definitely a good episode, there's no doubt about it. It's probably one of the most prominently good episodes of the show, particularly season 1 and
Such
season
a gratifying word. Wow!
Another head for Richthofen.
It's actually so crazy.
A small reward,
They're actually
far more than the Emperor ever gave.
is particularly one of the most powerful pilots I've ever watched.
All world that is built shall be
This is
torn
a powerful
asunder.
Bible.
But we do what we must.
Let's open up with episode 2, I think.
I receive you with honor, my assault rifle companion.
So, let's check out the episode 2. Surprising information.
Have a round on me! Yes, Dempsey. Headshots. Never spend 4 magazines to make 1 close.
This is actually.
Hope Rick doesn't quit better than his plan. Almost out already? This gun eats like my babushka.
I forgot how long Blood of the Dead takes to set up. So, Night of the Comet. I would say that since Elena and Damon, this is probably Bloodlust tier as well. I forget what else happens on episode 2, which is why I'm going to do a little research. What all happens on episode 2 of The Vampire? That's right, Vicky exposes vampires, believing that the attack was a vampire. Stefan worries about it. And tries to compel her to forget. Is interrupted by Matt. Additionally, Jeremy struggles at school. Jenna faces criticism from Mr. Tanner about her parenting. Okay, yeah, this episode didn't have any other notable features in it, or notable, stuff in it. So, let's move on to episode 3. And the notable features in episode 3. Lane invites Stefan and Bonnie to dinner, hoping that they will bond, but the evening is disrupted by the unexpected and unwelcome arrival of Damon and Caroline. Next episode is going to be an interesting one. This one, not so much. So the funny thing is, I remember this episode. I remember episode 3 vividly. It is one of the ones that I remember the best. It's actually going to be the first that's a Vampire Tier episode for me. The only good thing I liked about this episode was the Damon.
At last, she is ready for a test
There we
drive.
go.
Insta-kill.
Aside from that,
Said its head looked like ass.
Impressive, Nikolai. Und with such a handicap.
TG5 things are ready. Or vibrating at least.
so
Go with me,
yeah,
Doc.
as far
Look a
as
little pale.
episodes right now, we
Paler
have
than
2 in the
usual,
Bloodlines
anyway.
tier.
Yes, of course, it's
One
nothing.
in the Vampire
Climate
tier.
of this dimension is stifling. It's probably all the fire. Und the brimstone.
Actually, I don't remember what it takes place in this next one. Okay. This next episode isn't too fantastic, but due to the fact it gives away a town history, I will put it above the last episode. It's still not going to go in Bloodlust tier or Ripa tier, but it'll go pretty high. Okay, so this episode is definitely Bloodlust tier, just because we get to see Damon trapped in the basement for the first episode, which makes this very unique. I wouldn't say it's as killer as the pilot, definitely, but maybe it's better than episode 2, definitely. So far we've only ranked the first 5, and we don't have any that are really top tier. Usually I'm playing
Better than what I had. That at least is
Double points!
I'm to be hella hungry.
You had a pimple and it needed squeezing.
Oh yeah, Doc. That shut him up.
The Hellfire Flamethrower is ready. Although throwing the flames of hell seems extremely irresponsible.
Double points!
You see meat sacks, I see dollar signs.
Up the stairs, quickly! The entire island has turned its gaze upon us. Once the evil is turned to ash, your spirits will rise unburned!
Rise and bring on death's problem.
That monster cut the tower. Most predictable move. Banzai! I am inside. Quickly, everyone, this way!
So episode 6.
That's talent right there.
Let's call it Lost.
I would have liked to have
This
built
episode
the
tells
house.
you a bit about Damon and Stefan's past. It's our family history and how their rivalry began. I believe Damon gets out in this episode and makes Vicky's life hell. So, you know what? This is definitely going in the Bloodlust here, which will have a lot of episodes up in it, honestly. But Alright, so the next episode is the dance one, which I yet again think is Bloodlines tier, just not Ripper tier. The first episode I think is Ripper tier is the next one. 162 candles. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned, but there will be spoilers in this review. Next one is 162 candles. This is an episode where it's Steph's birthday. Shit. Friend Lexi wants to surprise him, but we have Damon here to ruin the day. The fact you have Damon there to ruin the day, of course, is super classic. But Damon basically kills Lexi, and I know that that was a huge spoiler, which is why I said it is a huge spoiler. Stephanie gets a surprise from his old friend Lexi. Caroline tries to get Damon's medallion back, and in a fit of rage, Damon kills Lexi to keep his identity a secret. This is the first episode that I believe is worthy of the Ripper tier, thanks to Damon's impulsive actions, killing,
Behold! The eater has become the eaten!
killing. I believe that this makes this the first Ripper tier. We're gonna see how many really reach the Ripper tier, but I think that this is the first one that should qualify.
Actually, their souls.
Why is it always gone?
I am not your prey, demon dog.
Hellhound is the absolute worst! Dead dog you.
So as for the next episode, history repeating. Jeremy gets a break from his new history teacher, American Saltzman. Damon reveals to Stefan the stunning reason he returned to Mystic Falls, aka to find his ex-lover Catherine, who is also Stefan's ex-lover. I believe that this episode is the first episode that I would actually qualify in the werewolf tier because I do not like this episode. I think this episode I don't enjoy this episode.
Yes, that's what's correct,
I don't enjoy episode 9. It's like a very good episode to me. Now, usually when it comes to shows like this, I absolutely love them. I love most of the show, and that's just not the case with the Vampire Diaries. In case you guys are wondering, I did actually make my own tier list for this shit because it literally was so difficult to do. Season 1, Episode 10, Logan returns to Mystic Falls, causing chaos and threatening Elena and others. Elena, while Stefan also grapples with his own feelings. This episode features a career night at the high school where Logan tries to lure Caroline and a discovery in the Lockwood cellar. I more Damon and Caroline now. This is just another lower tier episode. To be fair, I think any episode that has Logan in it is a extremely low tier episode, low tier quality, because generally Logan is just a really shitty player. Now that we're finally finished 10 episodes of the show,
Listen, Tech.
that's like 100.
I know where you're at. Doing what you had to do.
It's just actually crazy.
We had to do.
It was my honor
The next
to end the
episode
suffering
is
of my other self.
Bloodlines. Damon goes to Georgia to surprise an old flame, Bree, and enlists her help. Meanwhile, Stefan just uncovers a starting clue to the past. Why do I feel like I don't know what that is? Damon tries to open the tomb. Stefan helps Bonnie overcome her fears and embrace her powers with the help of her grandmother. Jeremy meets Anna. Something possibly happens between Lexi's old boyfriend and Damon in this episode, which is extremely funny, but this episode is meh. I would probably put it in. We'll put it in the vampire tier at the very bottom of the vampire tier, just because it's treading on thin ice and
The
so
anguish I
close to
feel
the
is
tier,
his.
it's not even funny.
The responsibility for my sins is mine.
Oddly enough, it is actually not workable, despite how bad this episode is. So maybe there's a reason here.
No matter how many times I see Wolfie, every time he's just as satisfied.
The beast is sated, but beasts will not remain that way for long. You are a true warrior, Dempsey. You focus your pain into action and press ever onward. It is both an honor and a terrible curse.
Now we're kind of getting to the part where season 1
Feel
really
your
drags
screaming head.
a lot.
There's a proverb about hedgehogs. I love it when you wax all philosophical.
Season 1 really drags. And you know, I'm not a
Come with
person
Nikolai.
who decides
Together, we make
this season. But the season drags. That's not just me here to say. 100%. season drags.
This is no praise for hearing. Not anymore.
Again, it's not me being a hater. That's me telling the truth. This season heavily dragged. And it heavily drags. Generally, when it comes to Vampire Diaries, it's not necessarily insanely powerful.
I understand your anger with Richtofen, Nikolai. But you must not allow this resentment to destroy you. We have come here to serve our inevitable purpose.
This is not fate, Takio. This is Richtofen, playing games with reality and our lives.
The look on his face! Oh, you missed it. He's not doing it anymore. You belong in eternal damnation.
Oh, enough for every rat in whole Gulag dimension.
Yes, fight me!
That will be sufficient, thank you.
Spoil me.
Destroy it!
Ah! Their deaths alone are payment enough.
Okay, so next up, we're going to be moving on to, is it episode 13? Hold on. Yep, episode 13. You know, I'm trying to remember what else happened in this one. Like, it was the dance. Okay, so no, this is 12. 12 is the dance. Lyric introduces himself to Damon. Okay, so there's not much going on in this episode that I remember, honestly. This actually might be one of the first ones to episodes. Oh my god, this episode was awful. I do remember this episode. I did not like this episode. This might be the only one to hit the witch tier from season 1 because honestly, I just didn't like it. Now, episode 13 is a very necessary episode. Matter of fact, I would rank it higher than most of the episodes that were in season 1. And that's because episode 13 was a very necessary episode. It had a lot of the past that Damon and Stefan don't really talk about in it.
Oh, my skin feels tight. And the head is gone. Nikolai is great magician.
I pressed the button. Pressing it again will not make the gondola go faster.
This is a very bad place to run out of ammunition. I see your accusing glances, Nikolai. Is there something you wish to say to me?
Why bother? That is what you always say, eh? All will be forgotten anyway.
Takeo, I can feel you glaring at me. Out with it. Still cross with me over forcing you to kill your other self.
You forced me into nothing.
So that episode was very good, actually. Probably one of the better ones. Episode 14, Damon and Elena team up with Bonnie and Grant. Captain is supposedly him. Jeremy invites Anna to a party unaware of the agenda. 1864 flashback to his father enjoying their lives as humans. The tomb is involved hugely in this plot, which makes me rank it actually fairly high up in the episodes. As a matter of fact, I think I would rank this one a little bit below the Bloodlust episode 13 because episode 13 has other reasons to be where it's at, not just these very low reasons. So, episode 15. Her birth mother, Isobel, and her connection to Alaric's past. So, this is a very interesting episode. And don't tell me much on here, so we're gonna go over to IMDb. So we meet Matt's mother. A horse fundraising bachelor auction. Episode 15 felt really weak. I don't know if this is as weak as the dance episode. Um, you know what? It's weaker. General perception of that episode was that it's terrible. And just, you know what? This whole season kind of goes down the well. From what I can see, it doesn't look like anything interesting happens in episode 16. It looks like it's just boring. So this is the episode where Matt learns about Stefan's car. It's honestly kind of doo-doo. Matter of fact, you know what? What's the rating on this episode? You know what? I think this is the first trash tier episode because it literally is so bad. It's unwatchable nearly. I rarely say that in TV, that a TV show
I was wondering if you ever pondered the death of yours. Wondering how you can be free of it.
This episode is exceptionally
uncharacteristically quickly for a corpse.
we're just going through and just looking through this whole.
Let us pray the effect is worth the chalky mouthfeel. Whatever we plan to do on the roof, I think we had best do it quickly.
So moving on to episode 17. Oh my god, the end of this season is horrific. This is the episode where Stefan gets captured by Pearl. Or, I mean, sorry, that's backwards. Damon gets captured by Pearl. This episode is actually kind of good. I would actually put this episode above many of the episodes. Matter of fact, for the way that Stefan acts alone, I think this episode could be considered for the Bloodlust tier. Just because the way that Stefan acts in this episode is truly one of the best scenes in the show by far. And I think honestly, this episode, I don't say it a lot.
It's like I am having panic attacks, but I cannot stop smiling.
In one, as you can see, overall going through. I've had some doozies. I've had a couple that are just.
You seem suddenly shorter. Is that a new haircut?
May your aim never waver, Herr Doctor!
So, moving on through the episode, season 1 is just kind of a big doozy on episodes. I mean, it was display Demons attempt to find out why. Elena's uncle has returned to town. Episode 18 is very confusing. Episode 18, Seven Struggles. Matt Tyler's friction continues with the party incident. Lena and Jeremy Gilbert returns to town, and Jeremy investigates Becky's death. You know, Under control. This is a very weird episode. So I would consider this maybe near the top of season 1. I wouldn't consider it technically the top. I would consider it near the top 3 tiers. I would consider it right in the middle of the vampire tier, basically. Miss Mystic Falls. This is episode 19, and I actually love this episode. Believe it or not. This, in my opinion, next to Blood Brothers, is the epitome of what Vampire Diaries episodes should be. And I'm going to rank it slightly above the episode that they go in the past. I think that this episode is the epitome of what a lot of Vampire Diaries episodes should have been. Now, this next one is episode 20, Blood Brothers. Blood Brothers, this episode is actually one of my higher rated episodes this season. It seems like they shot a lot of my higher rated episodes towards the end of the season. And it seems like once we got to the middle of the season, lackluster became the theme. I think 13 and 14 ended up being like my worst episodes, in my opinion. 21, Isobel returns to town and stuns the Lyric with her attitude and demands. He arranged a meeting with Elena. I don't remember this episode being very good. Matter of fact, I remember it being not too memorable. Matter of fact, I remember it being so memorable that I put it in the Witches tier because it is literally so bad. This is the top rated episode of the season, therefore, I see no other reason but to put this episode in the Ripper tier, along with. Which episode is that that's in the Ripper tier? Is that episode 8 that's in the Ripper tier? I believe it is. What happens in episode 8 that makes it worthy of Ripper tier? Ah, yes, the first Ripper tier episode. As you can see, the qualities an episode has to have to be in the Ripper tier are a lot of good qualities. And it's very difficult for any episode on my list to end up in the Ripper tier. Just because of what you have to do to qualify for that tier. That tier is the highest tier.
Why you want to trap us here?
What do madmen ever want?
Yes, you can qualify for that tier.
We are not.
You're going to have to work your ass off to get to that tier in terms of an episode. You're going to have to be a hell of a good episode.
Pinky pie.
For me, I don't think many episodes qualify for that, and that's the difficult part about it.
What is about to run out? Ammunition, Dumbo! Not there!
More ammo would be a welcome blessing.
I'm getting tired of my mic doing that. That is fucking stupid. I'm so fucking tired of it, and this is why I did not want to include gameplay with this video. Because this is actually annoying. Now, this episode is one of the highest ranked episodes in TVD history. The opening of season 2. Where to place this? I think that this could be placed, arguably, above the pilot of the show. Now, many people are probably going to disagree with me and say, why the fuck is this episode here? But it couldn't be Ripper tier, I feel like, but I do feel like it could be Bloodlust tier. Moving on to episode 2, Brave New World. This one's kind of in the middle. I don't know where I would rank it. Caroline leaves hospital, joins her friends. Dave wants to take immediate action. I think that we rank this one the werewolf tier at the bottom because it's honestly not that good. You know, I'm not seeing a lot of stuff that is good at the moment. And that's sad, but it is what it is. Bad Moon Rising. University, Seven face a new danger in the woods. Tyler makes a shocking discovery about Mason. A lot of season two's episodes were kind of mid to me. And that's why you're gonna see a lot of them in like the werewolf tier, and a lot of them a lot lower than they probably should be. But that just happens to be because a lot of them are really shitty episodes. Now, you can't say that for this next one because it is about Catherine's past, which makes this next episode actually kind of memorable. And which is why I'm putting it up towards the Bloodlust tier at the top of the vampires here. Just barely not qualifying for the Bloodlust tier. Ends about the Lockwood family curse from Mason, and Sheriff Forbes receives startling information. You know, I feel like there is just a lot of bad episodes in season 2. Next up is episode 6, Plan B. Catherine, the new victim, showed information about Mason, and shares it with Stefan. This episode, I think they discover he's a werewolf. The next one is the Masquerade Ball, which we're gonna actually rank incredibly high. But the whole werewolf tier is kind of doo-doo at this point. next episode is going to be the first episode from season 2 to be Ripper tier episode. Because it's the first actual episode that's worthy
I will use its frames against you.
I went and I did a couple of season 2 episodes because, I'm going back to play some of season 2, and its episodes made me realize that season 2 is very weak. It comes off very weak at first. The first few episodes are extremely weak. Rose. This episode is kind of fucking mid, honestly. And you know what? I think I'm gonna put it in the middle of the witches tier. It honestly ain't that good. I think Catherine's in it, which is the only upside to this episode. This next episode is Katarina. Knowing that Stefan would not agree with her plan. This episode I don't remember being extremely notable. But hey, we'll put it in the vampires here at the way bottom. This season just isn't very solid. Honestly, it feels really dead. I mean, maybe that's not the right way to put it, but going on, you have By the Light of the Moon. As the full moon nears, Caroline hopes Tyler prepare for his transformation. A stranger shows up looking for Mason. It's a lot of bad. And you know what? These episodes are very meh at this point. So 212, just very, very weak episodes. Jules, yeah, that's fine. Keep an eye on Rose. The situation turns unexpectedly dangerous. Oh boy. Oh boy, we lost a picture somewhere. I think the vampires here. This one's gonna be at the bottom of the vampires here. It's just extremely weak. We're trying some Mystic Falls. Unhappy surprise to Elena, Jenna, and Damon. Stefan doing his best to reach out to a confused Tyler. Honestly, a lot of these episodes are weak, honestly. Repetir is very few and far in between. Episode 14 is just, oh my god. Only good because it has Stephen Amell in it. Literally everything else makes this episode an absolute joke. And oh man, I just absolutely hate when this fall down. I mean, so 215. Oh man, this is just really fucking. Wow. Wow. So, continuing, it has been an hour. Continuing, we're moving on to Crying Wolf. Stefan and Elena attempt a romantic weekend getaway. Not realizing that they've been followed, Damon attends a tea at the Historical Society. Wait, no, we're not on that. We're on the next one, which is the episode with Elijah. This actually happens to be another one of my favorite season 2 episodes. There's a couple of my favorite season 2 episodes, more than there is of season 1, which is incredible. There's only 2 episodes of them in season 1. I love 2 of them in season 2. Also, I didn't want to say this is my opinion. You fucking bitch. Alright, that's a little bit better. Welcome back, guys.
Fuck you, Warden! Sending pups to do your dirty work. How many are they gonna sick on us? We shall free all from this hellish realm. Bullets, bitte! I would love to continue shooting.
Perhaps more
Next
than I
up
need.
is 216, which...
Dempsey, did you hear that? A voice, just now!
Yes, Captain Fine Games.
Voices! Whispering in the shadows!
Frustrations, but
Kinda hard to hear
Lena,
anything over
Stefan,
the
and
streets,
Damon
explosions, and
realize
gunfire.
that
But
their
if I start hearing
knowledge
voices,
of
you'll be the first to know.
History could be crucial to their survival. You know, something I gotta say about the show is as the seasons go on, we get less and less of these Ripper tier episodes and more of these just trash can episodes. And, you know, 217. Devastated Bonnie attempts to harness her ancestors' power, Stefan and Damon realize that they have a new weapon. Oh, how The Last Dance and Klaus are 2 of the single best episodes, and how season 2 is littered with Ripper quality episodes. You know, season 2 does have 3 of my favorite episodes, not to mention the finale, but 3 of my favorite episodes automatically because they just have claws in them and they have them in such a good presence in them that it really, really like shapes how I see the
Join flames of hell, priestess. Nikolai must be going.
Each burning corpse is a light of hope, and a serious fire hazard. This is not the day to test me, demon. My pain is now yours!
Ah, good. I was looking for something to be angry at. Without head, helping is just crappy pork.
Russia and America will always be allies.
Stop looking so damned morose, Takeo. This place was not.
Okay, so next up on the list, we have so next up is the next episode, which is The Last Day. I believe that one of the top episodes of this season is honestly The Sun Also Rises. Now, I don't believe it's as good as I Like Dying. I think that The Sun Also Rises is probably the second best episode or best episode of the Bloodlust tier, right? I think that it's one of those episodes that was like basically one that was basically like Catherine's return episode in the fact that it was good but not crazy good. Like it was good but not good enough to be the best episode in all of the show. And before I go on, I do want to say these are 2 of the best seasons, and where I've ranked them is kind of just generally how I feel about them. Season 3 will be a lot different, but so far we have 7 Ripper tier episodes, and of course, 4 of those episodes take place in season 2. And I want to be clear, 3 of those 7 episodes, I believe, have the originals in them. Or 4 of those episodes have the originals in them. Season 1 was crazy to even be able to have any of these Ripper tier episodes because they don't have a lot of notable features in some of those season 1 episodes, you know. So season 1, it's crazy to have any of those, honestly, but they did. Although I believe the 3 or 4 episodes that the originals are in on here is some of the best episodes of season 2. Now, the next episode is season 3, episode 1, which is an amazing episode. It's 18th birthday, searches for Stefan. Damon tries to keep her from doing anything that might draw Klaus's attention. This episode, I happen to believe, is a Ripper tier episode. Now, the reason I believe this, it has a heart-wrenching scene at the end of Stefan calling Elena. It also has the song A Drop in the Ocean playing during this scene. I happen to believe this is one of the saddest episodes in the entire TV show. And that this episode has probably gotten people hooked on the show before. I wouldn't be surprised. So this episode was very significant. Second episode, the hybrid. We go back to more Klaus for this second episode, but this one is mainly shifted on Elena most of the time. Which is why you catch me placing this episode so goddamn low. Is because this one is largely focused on Elena and doesn't deserve to be in the upper bloodlust tier. This next episode, End of an Affair, is another Klaus episode that is historically good, and in my mind just barely beats the pilot episode with how good it is. However, The Reckoning, this is a top tier episode. The one right before this one, I would argue, is one of the top tier episodes. I wouldn't say that like it's better than every episode in the show, obviously, like that's entirely false. But I do believe that it has earned a place in the Ripper tier, which I think season 3 might end up having the most Ripper.
Created to be your own personal hell.
Was it not? Fate willed it into creation. And fate has delivered
Now,
us here.
season 3 already has
As we
2
attempt
Ripper
once
tier
again
episodes, and
to
we're
disrupt the
already on
natural
episode
order.
5. So episode
The
1
scale
and 5
will be
both
balanced.
end Ripper tier episodes.
Get down a notch!
Focus on the warden's head! If you think this smoke will stop me, you are sorry, Mr. Do not touch me, demon!
Saw something like part of a door, maybe?
Foul creature! I have no desire to breathe your vapors!
So moving on to episode 6. I don't remember who this one focuses on. Let's see. Oh, this is a Stefan episode. him and Elena having a good time. Truth be told, I barely remember this episode. This next episode is definitely one of the best episodes yet, and honestly is probably slightly above that Elena and Stefan episode. This next episode tells you about the originals. It is a highly important episode, and I would actually rank it above the best episodes of the show, possibly. You get information on the originals in this episode. Nine, Homecoming Dance. You save Klaus to save Stefan's life. That doesn't even make sense. I happen to believe season 3 just generally has the most amount of Ripper episodes and highly rated episodes. Klaus is just so good on TV, and it's actually excellent. Like, the fact that Klaus is so fucking good on TV that you could literally just this one I believe is the one where they make a deal. And honestly, I'm not even gonna lie, like season 3 is so good. Yeah, 312. This next episode is definitely Ripper tier. And, a lot of these next episodes are. The Ripper tier is huge for season 3 because there is an incredible number of season 3 episodes that quite literally are some of the best episodes in the entire show. I mean, there is literally already 8 episodes from season 3 that are just incredible because the originals do not stop showing up. Now, surprisingly, the next one is a originals episode, but it's not even one of my favorite episodes that they are in. Matter of fact, it's kind of in the middle. I'm more interested in the character that actually gets added to the show next, which I'm actually putting in the witches tier because I don't like her character. Episode after that is still incredibly forgetful. So forgetful, I'm putting it in front of Oliver. 321. 321 happens to be really good, but 320 is even better. And in my personal opinion, I think that season 3 has the most Ripper tier episodes because honestly, if you look back and you just look at them, I'm looking at least like 10 Ripper tier episodes this season, which is crazy. And just going back and looking at these Ripper Tier episodes, I am reminded that season 4 is kind of the beginning of nonsense. There's not a lot of episodes that are better than the pilot, and I am heavily reminded of that every time I go back. Departed is one of the highest rated episodes ever. Maybe it's because Klaus dies, technically speaking, but having pains. Fourth season premiere, Elena wakes after accident to find the TGTN most has come true. Damon is furious with Stefan and takes out his rage on Snow, April, enrolling at Mystic Falls High. So, for 403, this is the episode where Elena confronts Rebecca, and Tyler gets a surprise visit from Haley, the secret werewolf that helped him with Klaus. The I believe that episode is the 5. And episode 6. Episode 4 is the 5. Oh, episode 6. These episodes, in my opinion, are the worst of the Bloodlust tier. Matter of fact, hell, they kind of go in the vampire tier because they are actually that bad. This is the first episode that has Klaus in it that I'm not gonna rank like a top episode, which is very surprising to some people. I mean, I'm just looking at episodes and seeing a whole bunch of garbage. Now, just because it is senior year for the main characters does not mean that all of season 4 needs to be schmuckadoo. Like, at least put one good episode in season 4. Because as far as things go right now, we're only looking at 2 possible Rippers here episodes. Nine, 410, 409 is a Christmas episode, I guess. And this episode where Bonnie's father accepts the role of mayor. Okay, so and 410 are actually like very. And now we move to Bloodlust here with 411. I honestly think this is probably one of the top Bloodlust tier episodes because this is actually one that could be considered one of the best episodes in the show. 411. 412. This is the episode where Cole is killed, I do believe. And if that's the case, this happens to be the first season 4 episode. I told you guys it was going to be a minute till we got
The
to a
spirits
season
of this
4.
island
Amazing.
awaken in your presence, Richtofen. It seems as though they desire something from you.
Doesn't everyone? The voices of the damned and the doomed can get in line behind you. The warden, the keepers, and the numerous other Richthofens now placing demands on my island. It was a pleasure to delete.
That's how my head feels whenever Richtofen starts talking timeline.
With cleansing fire, I purge the darkness. I, Takio, carry the fire. Claim it if you dare. Get back, creature! Killing you will be effortless.
Nikolai need ammo very soon. Now, in fact.
That was a nice ambush. Too bad your follow-up sucks.
It will take more than fire to purge.
I do want to move up to 413. Into the Wild. Here's where I start getting a lot of episodes that I put down in the Witches tier because these episodes are awful in my opinion. The worst of which is the one from season 1 with Caroline and etc. on a date. But I really do believe these episodes with Damon, Rebecca, and etc. on the island are some of the worst episodes in the show. And meanwhile, 15 isn't the worst episode in the show. I mean, I believe that it kind of is. However, don't get me wrong, season 4 doesn't have just one good episode. Season 4 actually has more than one good episode, which is extremely rare in these newer seasons, but
This evil. Takio,
I just want to say
comrade.
right now, I think
You
season
can
2
feel
and
as
3
well as
probably
I
have
that
the
Richtoff's
single
plan is
best,
but an errand of fools. How can you be so calm?
three best
Acceptance is
season
not
1, 2,
weakness,
3.
Nikolai. Only by accepting what
Season
is.
4 only manages to have this as a Ripper episode because Klaus is in the episode, and he does an amazing job of acting in this episode. Now, generally, the seasons of the Vampire Diaries, basically from here on out, don't really have a lot of good episodes. But you know what? 18, 19, and 20 are a huge exception from season 4. Should I say 12, 16, 7, or 12, 16, 18, 19, and 20 are a huge exception to the show. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think Pictures of You is necessarily a perfect finale, but it's a decent one nonetheless. 21 and 22 just happen Now, 423 is a really good episode. Now, season 4 has no right to have 7 episodes that are just legendary. But it is kind of what it is. You know, it seems like season 2 and 3, or 2, 3, and 4, or specifically 3 and 4.
Can one decide how one wishes to proceed? Moment by precious moment.
Kill you to cut your damn fingernails? Either Nikolai getting stronger or weapon getting much lighter.
We will pound the ground in blood and breath.
No need to be so tight with ammo, Takio. Sometimes it's okay to stretch. What do you want from Nikolai?
This is where I feel like the show ran out of name ideas. And when I say that, I kind of mean it. I feel like the show ran out of name ideas. And I know that sounds like a very weird thing, right? Like, what do you mean the show ran out of name ideas? But listen to what I'm about to say. So, a lot of the names from the episodes are either at this point phrases or movie dash TV show dash video game references. One example is I Know What You Did Last Summer. This episode opens with college, of This happens to be one of my least favorite episodes, and honestly on the witch tier of episodes, and probably my second least favorite episode of the show thus far. Second episode is True Lies. So Professor Wes Maxfield, you kind of discover what he does, and Damon asks for help to find Stefan. Funny enough, believe it or not, but nobody really knows where Stefan went at this point in the story. He's just kinda gone. So next one is called Original Sin. This episode is kind of a pile of doggy doo-doo. The one where Stefan loses his mind and Elena has to tell him everything again. I hate this episode. Um, it's kind of dumb. I'm honestly not a fan of it. If you are, that's a good deal to you, man. But I don't like this episode. I feel like it's
Follow me, brothers. Haul by haul, I will scorch this press green.
Hey,
as an
Nick,
episode.
did you catch
So,
what Richtofen was saying when he read that Cruller chronic evil book thing? Chronoria.
the next
Said that
episode is
page
the
is
Monster
changed.
Ball,
Judging from face,
aka
it was
the
not good
college
change. So now
history
we fight
ball.
for lives. This is what we get for trusting German.
Lena dances with Dr. Maxfield was a disturbing message. Season 5, episode 5 is just kind of weak to me. A lot of season 5 is weak to me. Matter of fact, I think like a whole 3 episodes this season already have kind of been
Dimensional life expectancy are directly proportional.
I just don't like this season. You know, it's nothing against the writers personally, but like,
For your foolishness.
I don't like this season, and I don't know if it's just from a writing standpoint I don't like it, or if it's from a different standpoint. You know, I just don't like this season. I don't know why that is. Season 5 is incredibly lackluster. Don't get me started on Season 7 though. That one is the real one that I will actually put. This one is just on the rocks. It's good, but it's bad. I don't really like it. Season 5, arguably, I went back and I thought it was a really good season when I was watching it, but I went back and I realized that I must have missed some criticism because this season honestly wasn't that good as I remember it being. And you know, we move on to episode 6. Damon and Helene skeptical of Silas' goal. Cesarel is being outsmarted by Silas. Southern decides she needs a new place to stay. Bonnie is impressed with Jeremy. So this is when Bonnie and Jeremy's little thing starts happening. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't like this. This episode was weak. Season 5 is going to have this issue quite a bit. Elena and Damon try to explain Amar's situation to Stefan. Shows up storm. I'm searching for Catherine. Silas fails to get a promise, causing Damon to turn on Tessa for help with his new plan, and Stephanie makes a heartbreaking confession to Damon and Elena. So this episode is, I still believe, extremely low on my list. I don't think any of the season 5 episodes had me going, woohoo! Like, you know, maybe episode 8, because it was like, this episode's alright. But even with that, I wasn't like going crazy saying this is fucking awesome. You know. I wasn't going crazy over this episode. 509, we meet Enzo for the first time. And apparently in this episode, we find out Damon's truth, that he was worked on in a laboratory. Yeah. Super dark. And this is what I mean. Some of these episodes just are super weak in season 5. Honestly, it's embarrassing. But you know, just moving on, like 510 is literally an episode where this next one is literally a reference to Dr. West's son, Grayson, and literally is 50 Shades of Grayson. I know, right? What a cringy episode name. Yeah, as you know, if you've watched season 5, it is just terrible. I mean, season 5 was practically the end of Catherine, so. But you know what? We go back. This episode is really good. Actually, this might be the best episode in season 5. I know, right? And it's not because of ships, believe it or not. A lot of people think this is because I'm a Klaus character.
Are but ashes in the wind.
This actually is a lot more than just that. It's not a simple Klaus X character. There's actually a lot more to it than that.
Where do they keep spare ammo in Hell Prison?
Richtofen, I must ask, do you still reflect upon your other self? The one you destroyed? Or did it end the moment you pulled the trigger?
That Richtofen was evil to kill. What he had just done to Maxis, to Samantha, to reality, he needed to die for the good of all. That was all. Did the Chronorium predict this decision? With each move, do we rewrite its pages?
Now, face is perfectly normal when I make a shot.
Fire thousands of rounds, and one of them will hit a head. Right, Nikolai?
Dinner time! Who's on the menu? How about this handsome gentleman right here?
Looks like lunchtime is over. I imagine he will run dinner.
I looked over first. The warden's demonic office. Just a home.
Yep. I won't be blasting holes in any walls with this. Let's hope our jailbreak is better than it is for the other guys.
Yeah, because the legions of bipedal undead weren't enough.
That's dull. I teach you to its master.
Down, boy.
Away with you, vermin. Nine. Breathe deep, Beethoven. The sooner you go nose blind, the better.
I fear neither hell nor its flames.
So, "500 Years of Solitude" is 11. "512. The devil inside tries to get back together with Elena. There's a plan to attempt to take over Elena's body. Tyler's upset with Caroline. Matt is used by Catherine. I don't like the concept of this episode being that he tries to get back with Elena. I think that part is stupid. Don't get me wrong, though. Still a huge fan. I don't like Tyler and Liv's relationship. I feel like it's really stupid. Um, and for that, this episode goes to the bottom of the vampire tier. Honestly, I think it's worse than some of the werewolf tier episodes. This next episode, Damon is just completely Augustine. And you got your boy Enzo flipping out on him because he goes full Augustine in this next episode. This might be the second Ripper episode because honestly, it's probably the only other episode worthy of being enlisted under that tier. This season, a lot of these other episodes are just gone. This next episode isn't honestly that good. Matter of fact, it might even belong in the worst tier as like a best of the worst episodes because it is not. Damon makes a little confession. Which is this episode. I actually really liked this episode. Excuse me. Counter. History. Marshals arrives in Mystic Falls. Rescue me. This episode was kind of trash. It seems like continuously the show has a history of putting on trash episodes. I'm looking at about 11 of them currently, and we're only on season 6. Are we even on season 6 yet? I think we're still only on season 5, which is embarrassing. Devastating Dreams. And it's not because it was so understand. It's just good because it's good. Which is saying more than most episodes. Not even gonna lie. And on fire. This episode has Enzo in it, and I hate Enzo. So you probably think that that will mean I'm gonna rank it super low. But actually, no. It goes in the vampire tier. Despite how much I hate Enzo, I do not hate this episode. Now, this next episode, something is being hidden from Damon. He flips out. And then discovers the Travelers. This is a pretty lackluster episode, therefore, it goes in werewolf tier. I literally do not like this episode so much to the point where it is the third best werewolf tier episode. Oh, I forgot. This is the part where Caroline is actually witness, so one of the travelers actually sees it. And just every episode when Marco's in it is severely de-elevated every time that he is in an episode. Which is why this is the first time I didn't put a finale in the Ripper tier, because season five's finale is extremely underwhelming. Honestly, bro. Man, sorry guys, I just woke up. But 601. Ah, yes, if it isn't season 6. A truly garbage episode. You know what, honestly, the show feels dead at this point because Bonnie and Damon are just non existent. So that's something. Until season 6, episode 6, I feel it's very weak. However, I will tell you, I am going to put one of these episodes up here, and that is season 6, episode 2. I absolutely love this episode. So almost all these episodes are just bad. Granted, I will up episode 4 because it had a lot of Bonnie and Damon in it. But yeah, I didn't like a lot of these episodes. Now, the first episode that actually ends up getting Ripper tier for me in season 6, and there's not a lot of them that do in season 6, but this one, where Damon comes back, does get Ripper tier for me. It is that good. Stephen and Caroline, these two episodes aren't really my favorite. I just don't like a lot of these episodes. Another thing. $6.10, ironically, is a huge episode in terms of like dealing with Kai, and it's a funny episode. Now, this is the first episode I think that Kai is in that I'm like, oh, that's a decent episode. Now, Kai attempts to pull a Klaus here, and it's just, to me, it is not funny. So, I put the next episode in Wizards here because honestly, I just don't like it. They try to merge, and I just don't fucking like it. This next one is Caroline and Stefan's like day together or whatever, and I struggle to watch this one. And then the next one is actually Liz Forbes' death, which this one makes me want to cry. This was a very sad episode, and therefore it is worthy of Ripper tier. I don't give a lot of season 6 credit because I don't like season 6 and or 7 and most of 8. But this is 2 episodes I could give credit is the 6th and the 15th.
I must have. Sorry.
Foolish monster. Very foolish.
Sweet, but I don't do shit for bite marks.
With this brain, I release you.
Did predict this would be a 5-hour video, but likelihood is that it is actually just a 3-hour video. But it seems like it would be 5 hours. Now, I hate any episode with Kai Parker in it, to be 100% honest. And Caroline goes fucking nuts. Batshit crazy Stefan Ripper in this episode, and it's crazy. And this is where I have to put this as Kai's first Bloodlust episode because It really is. It's the first time we see Kai, and I rank him in the Bloodlust tier because before I didn't like Kai. Now, this episode really pissed me off. Bringing Damon's mother back. Hence why it gets the bottom of the worst tier because it is just fucking awful. Most parts with their mother are terrible episodes, and so we're gonna kind of go over that right now. – 619. Damon wrestles with what he should do with the gear. You know, it makes it so difficult to watch some of these. So 621. Last minute wedding preparation. This scene is ruined by Kai. Like, it's actually made bad by Kai. Granted, I'm gonna put this finale in the Ripper tier, but it doesn't deserve to be here. Only 3 episodes made it into the Ripper tier here, and honestly, season 1 should have been the one to make it here.
My honor. This is the way.
We're gonna go through the next season super fast.
By this light.
Mainly because I just don't like season 7, you know. I respect season 8, but season 7 is dirt. And that's my honest opinion of that season. Like, it is dirt. So we jump through the first few episodes, right? Season 7. This season is fucking dirt. And it's not just because Elena's gone. This season is so bad. But unbelievably, this Bonnie episode, this first pilot of the season, is actually probably an acceptable episode. See, these first few episodes aren't terrible of this season. But then it just gets worse. Now, this next episode is just, oh my god. These next few are so bad. all the way up until 9. Literally. They're all bad up until 9. I mean, maybe 8 is okay. But if it is, it's the only one that's like, I believe Caroline activates her upset gene again, where she gets mad again. Season 7, episode 10 is actually disturbing. And I mean that because when you actually watch it, you're gonna freak out. This episode scared me in terms of episodes. I rarely have an episode from season 7 where I was like, dude, that episode was freaky. This was one of them. This next episode, they actually get Damon back from hell. And that's the only reason it's a redeemable episode, is to get Damon back from hell. If they didn't, this episode would be in the trash pile. Julian makes the next few episodes a bit entertaining. And if he wasn't in them, I'm just gonna say right now, I would not even enjoy them. So 713. There is a lot of episodes this season that are trash. I mean, I'm literally not even joking. I think I put 8 episodes, literally in here. I don't know. I definitely put more than that. So I put at least 7 or 8 episodes in here that were just absolute garbage, and there was a couple redeemable episodes, like 2 so far, which is pretty fucking normal for a mid-season. Like, season 7 is honestly where the show gets tiring. It's where, why the hell are we still doing this? In my opinion, is what this episode entails. Because 17, a lot of these episodes make it into the worst tier just due to sheer bullshit that happens. So 718 is quite the episode. But believe it or not, it's actually not a terrible episode. I just don't like 719 or 720. And now that we are on the last season of the Vampire Diaries, oh my god. I'm glad we went through season 7 so fast. It was actually my goal to just kind of jump through that season because of how fucking stupid it was, you know. I am not a season 7 lover. It's for this. I do not like season 7. Okay, so heading into season 8, the final season of Vampire Diaries, we kind of slowly move on, and we get to episode 1 of season 8. This season was cut short with only 16 episodes, therefore the first episode being titled Hello Brother. On top of that, these episodes were named after famous quotes that were in the show for the most part. So, this time tirelessly for Damon and Enzo months after their mysterious disappearance. So I don't actually remember the full entitlement of what happens in this season, but I can tell you this is going on the bloodlusts here. Humanity that Enzo hopes for two Damon. He tries to prove everyone wrong. I feel like some of these episodes of season 8 are just hoping to be trash. This next one I actually consider to be Ripper tier, and that's because it tells you the story of the Sirens. And I personally don't like episode 5. So this is 7. I think 7 is decently highly ranked because this is really nice. We have history together. This is the episode with Sybil and with Caroline, where they are arguing. This episode is not entertaining in the slightest. Now, this one's actually a really good episode. If only it was not plagued by so many problems. Nostalgia's a bitch. This episode is kind of a sad one. I would actually rank it above most of the episodes. I think it's episode 11 is the one that Enzo dies on. This next episode is, in my opinion, a Ripper episode because it's one of very few Ripper level episodes from season 8. Season 8 doesn't have a lot of these, like season 4, 3, or even 2. And the reason for that is season 8 just is damn good at certain parts. And it didn't have the least of them like season 5, but at the same time, it had a lot. It had a couple of these. And it makes a deal with Cade to retrieve the Maxwell Journal in order for Stefan's soul. This, I believe, to be one of the best episodes. I don't think it's a Ripper tier, but I think it's really fucking close. Lies will catch up with you. Kai shows up in this episode, and this automatically becomes a Ripper tier episode to me. This is hold on. So this is 13. So 13. I didn't really like 13. It's been a hell of a ride. This is honestly a ripper episode. There's not a lot of them this season, like I said, but this is one of them. The Caroline and Stefan wedding I consider to be bloodlust here. However, I do not consider it to be the best episode in the show. And just going over the various episodes, it looks like season 5 has the least amount of Ripper episodes. And just going back looking at the episodes. Let's see, so we have 2 from season 1. Season 2 has about 5. Season 3 has about, I want to say about 10. Season 4 has about 3, I think, or 2. Season 4 is like 5. Season 5 has 2. Season 6 has about 3. Season 7 has, I want to say 3, and season 8 has about 5. So, the Ripper episodes often for me were the episodes that included the biggest sacrifices, included originals, included Klaus, Rebecca, or Elijah, in those usually, or just the scenes that standed out to me the most in certain episodes, like Enzo's death. And that's a very important part. To me, for the last season, it was specifically the episode that Enzo died. It's been a hell of a ride where he kills Arcadius, aka Cade. The last episode, it was episodes that stood out along the show and gave me what I believe to be one of the best times watching
Spirits
a
of this
television
prison
show
disturb you,
of
Nikolai.
all time. This was the
You should.
official ranking of the Vampire Diaries episodes, from Ripper tier all the way down to the worst tier, including the Witch tier, Werewolf tier, and Vampire tier, and the Bloodlines tier, which were all pretty massive. I want to say the biggest tier of the show may have been Vampire tier. Witch's tier may have been the smallest tier of the show, and the worst tier was mostly comprised of season 7 episodes. Season 7 happens to be something that just doesn't have a lot of good episodes in it, if I'm being honest. I don't still enjoy season 7. I never really have. And maybe that's because season 7 is just not fun. I mean, I would understand if that's the case. Because season 7 is just hilariously bad. Occasionally. I enjoyed the show, though. Vampire Diaries was very good. This is going to take a minute to process this video because it was 180 minutes, which is about 3 hours long. And oh my god. Now, maybe in another video we'll discuss how much of a broken problem the Vampire Diaries is, the plot holes, etc. But I wanted to get something that was, clearly designed to be more of a guide to the show, what seasons were worth watching, what seasons were not worth watching, the best seasons, maybe even a seasonal review at some point where I go over each separate season, what it contained, and why to watch it. But the idea here was to simply get the seasons done and go over all of the episodes. I went over 171 episodes in about 3 hours, guys. I hope you guys are proud of me. That took a long time. I did take longer breaks than I usually do for reviewing episodes. I went through a lot less than I usually do. I usually, with these videos, take about 4 hours of time to make, and unlike some of my other videos, like my Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, I did not write anything down for this video. This video was all internet research during the video and images. Not to mention, I think I sorted this list like 3 times to get it in order because making your own tier list is actually a fucking pain. And yet I decided to do it because I wanted to make this video that badly. I wanted to get this out that badly that I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make this big ass tier list of 171 episodes. I've never even made a tier list with 171 items on it before. Like, this is the single largest tier list I ever made. The biggest one I think was 90 with the Sons of Anarchy one. This is the biggest tier list I have ever made, and I did it for you guys because, oh my god, it is a hell of a tier list. But, wow. And there was spoilers. But I finished it. It's crazy. And with that, it's gonna be Anarchy out, dude.